Hi guys, Levi here from Bright Young Brains. In this video, we are going to be discussing one key element about a geometric series. Now, the one portion of work that we're tackling is this expression. Now, in the previous tutorial rather, we stated that R is a common ratio in our geometric series. Now, as long as your value of R is a number that is between -1 and +1. Remember, this is saying that R is bigger than -1, but R is also smaller than +1, meaning that R is a fraction. You see, R is a specific fraction that is between these two numbers. What that means is your sequence is getting smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller. That's literally what this is saying. This literally says that your series, rather, I will try and use the word series for this particular tutorial because as long as you're dealing with a situation like this one, you mainly will be talking about a geometric series because that's where you eventually get to talk about things like sum to infinity, which is what we're also going to touch on within this tutorial. So in this situation, right, your series is decreasing. You see, so an example of that is if you start off with, let's say, 4 and then you have 2 and then you have 1 and then a half and then a quarter and then 1/8. This one is way too obvious, but then obviously for this to be a geometric series, you would see something like this in your textbook or in the exam. You see, they'll be split up by plus signs, normally plus signs or alternating if, let's say, your value of R is a negative. So in a situation like this one, right, you can see that your sequence is decreasing. It's also easy to see that your value of R here is just a half, and you see R is a number that is between -1 and 1. Coincidentally, a half is somewhat in the middle of those two numbers. No, it's not exactly in the middle, but I just chose a half because it's easy to understand. In this situation, as we are already seeing here, right, R is just a half. Now, as long as R is a half in this situation, what we can say is that this series converges. You see, this series converges because our value of R is bigger than -1 and it is smaller than 1. You see, as long as R is between -1 and 1, you will always have a series that converges. The reason I'm using those words in particular is because that's how they word it out in exams. They usually ask you something like, does this series or this sequence converge? You're either going to say yes or no, and you give a reason. If it does converge, the reason will be R is between -1 and 1. So as long as your series converges, right, this series converges because of this statement, right? So we can say here, therefore, it has a sum to infinity. This is just something that I'm adding now as we're having this tutorial. As long as your value of R is between -1 and 1, it means that your series has a sum to infinity. And now we're going to explain the simple way of remembering what sum to infinity is. So sum to infinity, right, is basically a way of saying that if you add up all the terms in your sequence, right, eventually you can add up all the way to infinity, but then those numbers will never surpass a specific whole number. For example, if you say 4, right, plus 2, that's going to give you a 6, and then plus 1, that's going to give you a 7. You see, that 7, if you plus a half, you're going to have 7.5. If you take 7.5 and you plus a quarter, you're going to have 7 point something. If you plus 1/8, you're going to have 7 point something, going on and on and on and on and on. So the sum to infinity for something like this, right, it will be 8. You see, because the biggest whole number that this sequence can possibly ever be is 8, but it will never reach 8 because you'll just be saying 7 plus a smaller quarter and a smaller quarter and a smaller quarter. It will never reach 8. But if it were to get to any number, the biggest number it can possibly go to is 8. That's what sum to infinity is, you see, in simple words. If I repeat, 4 plus 2 is a 6, plus 1 is a 7. 7 plus a half is 7.5. If you add a quarter, you have 7 point something. If you add the 1/8, you still have 7 point something, 7 point something, and you're going to end up with like 7.999999999. So the biggest whole number for your series here will just be 8, which is the sum to infinity. You see 8 here, you can refer to that as the sum to infinity. I hope that's not out of the board. But anyways, 8 is the sum to infinity. Now, I was talking about sum to infinity. Sum to infinity has a formula. You see, the sum to infinity for any geometric series can be given or can be worked out using this formula. This formula only works if your value of r is between -1 and 1. You see, here, the sequence has to converge. The sequence / series has to converge. You see, the series has to converge for you to be able to get a sum to infinity. So the sum to infinity of this series, if you were to work it out with a formula, you would say A, right? A is the first term, R is your common ratio. So you would have the A is 4, and then your value of R is a half. Now if you look at it nicely, 4 at the bottom here, 1 minus a half is a half. 4 divided by a half is 8. That's your sum to infinity. So when I did what I did here, I was not trying to say that you can always work out the sum to infinity like manually. Not always. Sometimes you may not be able to, but sometimes you will. So normally with questions that deal with sum to infinity, they will be like 3 marks. 4 marks is a bit of an overkill, but it's quite a straightforward concept. As long as your value of r is between -1 and 1, your sequence will converge. So in situations where you sometimes have variables in your series and they're asking you where your sequence, or they ask you if your sequence converges or not. In a situation like that, you're always going to have to come back to this expression. I'll repeat, anytime where they talk about a sequence converging or not, always think of this. Literally write out this expression first. Find out whatever value of r you can find out, and then just balance out this inequality or simplify it. So an example of that is something like this. If you had an expression like this, right, and maybe they ask something like 4, which value of x will the sequence converge? If they ask a question like this, the first thing you do is you write out this expression. R is between -1 and 1. And then what you do is you first have to get a value for r. Remember, r is whatever term you'll be working on, or you can pick out any term divided by the previous one. So for example, you can say something like t2 divided by t1, or you can say something like t3 divided by t2. It doesn't matter. Now your value of r, because you somewhat have an expression like this, if you're going to work out the value of x for which this sequence converges, you want a scenario where your value of r, you're going to write it in terms of x. So meaning your r, you should at least maybe have x over 2 as your r, you see, because you have x here divided by the previous number. So you want to write this as your value of r, and then what you do is you drop r in there. There you go. So here you're one step closer to answering this question. For which value of x will the sequence converge? So in a situation like this, you have to just solve for r. or solve for x rather. Solving for x here, you're going to have to multiply by 2 here. So because you're going to multiply by 2 here, you have to do that everywhere also. You see, so you're going to end up with like negative 2 here. X is going to be on its own. Here you're going to have positive 2. So all this is saying is, for your sequence to converge, the value of x has to be between negative 2 and positive 2. This is just a dumb example, for lack of a better example. But the point I'm trying to make here is, anytime they ask for where does the sequence converge, or for which value of x will the sequence converge, all you do is get a value of r in terms of x, and then throw that into this expression, and then simplify, and then you'll be done. So that's sum to infinity in a nutshell. Nothing crazy, nothing complicated. It only works for a geometric series. You can never be asked for a sum to infinity if your sequence is arithmetic, because if your sequence is arithmetic, it does not necessarily have a sum to infinity. You see, it's not necessarily always, even if it is decreasing, you see, it cannot have a sum to infinity if it's an arithmetic series. And it cannot have a sum to infinity if it is a geometric series that is increasing. The sequence has to be decreasing, you see, because if a sequence is decreasing, automatically the value of r is between -1 and 1. So that's that for this tutorial. In the next tutorial, we are going to start talking about sigma notation, because remember, we have touched on the SN formula for arithmetic sequences, the SN formula for geometric sequences, and we've also now touched on sum to infinity. So the next best thing is sigma notation, which is in the next tutorial. So for that, you can find it in this playlist. If you haven't subscribed already, I suggest you do, because tutorials like this are just going to get better. Peace.